I am making one of the vegetable bakes using the new Thermomix Cutter. And I thought that would be an interesting one for you guys to have a look at. So first of all, with the cutter has a drive shaft that sits over the blades. Now it can only sit one way. I put it, that's actually sitting flush there. If I turn it the other way, it doesn't sit flush. So you'll know it's only one way it can go. So that goes on. Then the bowl sits over. This is fantastic because it actually keeps the bowl, your Thermomix bowl, nice and clean. So all our cuttings are going to go into here. And then I'm going to make, so basically I'm chopping a whole lot of vegetables or slicing a whole lot of vegetables using this. And then I'm going to make it's a cream and I don't remember what's in it, mixture, bit of vegetable stock, bit of water, all that sort of stuff that goes in and gets poured over it, bit of Parmesan on top, and then it gets baked in the oven. So that's going in there. Next, I have this, which has two sides to it. It has the slicing side. You can see that just over there. That's side one, a thin and a thick slice. Now, if you are a TM5 owner, then you will be doing this manually. If you are a TM6 owner, then you have the modes on your machine and it will come up in recipes. Hopefully it'll come up on this. Anyway, I think it does. So if you're a TM5 owner, you're doing it manually, then the thin slice is on a reverse, okay? And the thick slice is on chop. Now, seems a little bit the wrong way around to me, but anyway, that's the way it is. And with this too, so the other side here, side two, it's got two different grates. Grey for grating and slate for slicing. Apparently that's the catchphrase. And same thing, if you're a TM5 owner and you're using this, then your thin grate will be on reverse. It's always speed 4. Okay, and you don't have to set time because the time is going to be according to the size of your vegetables, how long it takes to push them through. Right, so let's get to the recipe. Let's get some pieces out here. Start cooking. Preheat my oven. I'm actually not going to bake this now. We are going away and it's coming away with me for the weekend. Grease, this is a cast iron dish. And again, because we're going away, I'm not taking cast iron. So I have this dish here, which I've greased. And it actually has a lid, just a bit like a Tupperware lid. And I'm going to take it in that. Place the bowl onto the lid. Weigh in 500 grams of potatoes. So I have done all the weighing. And I have had to trim the potatoes a little bit so that they're going to fit down through this hole here. My carrots. All right. So insert the Thermomix cutter shaft and basket, then place the cutting disc with side one slicing up. So slide one is there, side one, slicing. That goes up into here. And that then sits on top like that. Place the cutter lid into position, insert one potato at a time. And my potatoes, of course, are at the bottom. So I've had to do a little bit of trimming here. Actually, I know it says one at a time. I'm going to put two in like that. And then I've got the feeder. And here, this is my mode. So it's, we are doing thick. So if you're on a TM5, then you are going to do your normal forward blades. It's not reverse, it's forward on speed 4. Okay, and then I've got 2 more bits of potato to push through, so I'll put that one go through just. All right, so the idea is it's better to get smaller rather than bigger, or get a really big one and just have to cut it in half. But I have to take some little pieces like this off, which I can actually just slice and add anyway. Oh my gosh, how quick was that? And look at all that beautiful potato I've got there. So transfer it onto baking tray and set aside. I'm going to put that. I'm putting it into a big bowl. So there you can see all that beautiful potato, beautifully sliced. That's the thick slice. Next, carrots going in. So whole carrot. And again, it's thick, so I'm pushing down through here. I think it's saying transfer onto a baking tray so you can make it look super pretty. I'm not going for super pretty. I'm going for functional. Let's get this done. There are all our carrots. Look at that, beautiful. They've gone in with my potatoes. Next, I've got the zucchini. So I've got 2 zucchini. I checked they fit in there. Right, and they are also going to be thick. So again, that's forwards if you're a TM5 owner on speed. But you can see how you don't have to set a time. The vegetable tells you the time. When it's gone through, the time is done. So here we go, a whole heap of zucchini. All right. Oh, I think I've got one more thing to do. So transfer the sliced zucchini onto the tray with the vegetables and set aside. Oh, I've got onions to do. So I've got 2 halves of onions, so I'm just popping that in and that in. And this is thin. So because it's thin, if you are a TM5 owner, you would have it on reverse. So I don't know if you can see, it takes a little bit longer when it's on reverse because obviously the blades aren't so sharp. Okay. I have a thin sliced onion, and I'm going to have a look because I feel I've got some left behind, which is normal. I do have some left behind. So it is quite normal to have get bits left behind here. So I'm actually going to see if I can put that through again. I don't know if it's going to work. Well, there's no harm in trying, is there? So I think if it ends up being this way down, it can be a little bit hard. You want to try and get it so that it's the cut edge down. I'm actually putting it in the small side. There we are. So actually quite important that you do put it in the right part of the cutter. So that's actually sliced up. I've got a little bit left, but that has sliced up. So I put it in the small bit because it was a small thing. So things like lemongrass, fantastic when you put them in this small side. Okay. Onion. So transfer the onion into the prepared cast iron dish and spread over the base. So I'm going to put this into my dish. Got so much stuff here. I'm glad you can't see the mess my kitchen is in, just trying to get so many things done. So I'll put my dish, spatula, and I'm going to my onion over the bottom. Now, if you're FODMAPs, you might be through the green of the leek. You could leave it all out, but I think a little bit of flavour is nice. Or, you know, the green of spring onions, something like that. All right, so I'm just popping that over the base. I probably could have done a bigger onion, but that's what I had. Use what you have. Oh. All right, now we're going again. Just going to make sure that's it. And it's interesting because, you know, often in a recipe, when it calls for chopped parmesan, that's one of the first things that you do. My eyes are watching. But this is going to ask us to slice the parmesan. So I think I've got a little bit more than it said. And it says put it in the thick part, but you know what? I've cut it so it's a bit thinner. I'm going to put it in the thin part. And I'm going to slice thin. The last one was a bit thicker. It wouldn't fit in the thin one, so I'll put it in the thick side. I now have shaved. Oh my God. It's quite a crumbly Parmesan cheese, but can you see how beautiful that is? It's like a shaved cheese. Yum. Right, what have I got left under here? Some bits they can go in. And you can see I've got a little bit that's clogged up there, but that's all, it's all good Parmesan cheese. I don't want to waste any of that, so that can still go in my dish. All right, let's move on. Remove, really important that you take this shaft out, all right? It's really easy to get that one chopped up. I haven't done it yet, and I am not intending to, but it is something you really have to be very mindful of. Okay. Arrange a layer of sliced vegetables on top of the onion, alternating as you go. Season with salt and pepper. So I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to get my vegetables. So a layer of sliced vegetables on top of the onion. It says alternating. So in the picture, it will do, you know, one bit of potato, one bit of zucchini, one bit of carrot. But you know what? I'm just going to randomly, as I said, I'm not going for super pretty. I'm much more of a functional cook. I know this tastes absolutely delicious. And I'm more than happy for it to be all mixed up. But if you despair when you see me doing this, just remember that you can do it your way. All right, I'm just doing it this way. This is yeah, this is what works for me. And if I was doing a really fancy dinner party, which is highly unlikely, I mean, I can just literally chuck this in like this, okay? But if I was doing a very fancy dinner party and needed it to be perfect, I would take the time, all right? But as I said, that's highly unlikely for me to be doing something like that. But let's just, we go for, you know, easy, fun. And that's what I love about the Thermomix. It is so easy. But if you want to be fancy, you can be fancy. Right, let's put a bit more of this in. And then I'm going to salt and pepper. Okay. Just looking at the salt reminds me of tomatoes. Oh my gosh, tomatoes, amazing with a bit of salt on them. And I remember when I was a kid, my granny used to peel her tomatoes, slice them, and sprinkle sugar over them. We used to love them too, but would not float my boat anymore. All right, so I'm going to put a bit of the Parmesan cheese on here. I think I did this last time. I think I put it all on the top. See, no, it doesn't read instructions, just does the thing. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Then continue laying with the remaining vegetables. So in you go, vegetables. So yeah, so we're going to French Island and I'm doing the vegetables. Someone's bringing a salad, someone's bringing chicken, and that's going to be our dinner. But I thought this was it's so delicious, and we can bake it there. No, I'm not sure. I think they're a bit off grid, but there seems to be an oven in the picture, so there better be an oven in the picture. I'll let you know if there wasn't, because that's going to be interesting. Okay. So the rest of that goes on there. There we go. Hands again. Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. So there we go. There it is. You can see. There we go. All layered up. Next, I am going to move that out of the way. And we are coming back to here. It says 1 teaspoon of vegetable stock paste. Now, my vegetable stock is this colour because I had beetroot that needed to be used. Actually, I was going to put beetroot in there too. Never mind. 1 teaspoon of vegetable stock paste. It's gone in. 50 grams of water. 180 grams of whipping or pouring cream. Why does it say pouring and then whipping in brackets? I don't know the answer to that. Hopefully that's got that. Thing on top. So, sorry, I should have opened that before. Didn't realise it was going to be like that. Anyone got any tricks for those? I end up normally doing it with a knife. It's funny, my dad had a reputation of being a chocolate for opening milk buttons. I think I must have got this from him. Anyway, 180 grams. There we go. I'm going to put extra salt in because there's salt in that. Salt in the stock paste. Put my lid on. So the first time I've actually had to use my lid on the bowl. 30 seconds, speed 3. So no eggs in here. And previewing here, pour it over, sprinkle with the rest of the cheese and bake for 30 minutes at 200 degrees. Okay, so my mixture is slightly pink. It's going to go over because of that beetroot. Show you this. So excuse the mess. So this is going to go over here. Go down through all the little cracks. Now, if you look at the picture on this recipe, you'll see how it could look. All right, other than my rustic one. You can also do this using the slice, the grated side as well. So I've got that, and then I've got my Parmesan cheese to go. So that means I think I've done the food I have to do for the weekend. It's safe anyway. Here we go. Oh goodness, anything. So there we go. The vegetable bake, you can see all the creamy stuff oozing down there. It's going to get all nice and brown and crispy on top. And I'll tell you, it's really well worth giving a try.